Are you saying we should take predominantly black high schools and do more there than we do for, say, predominantly white high schools? Tell me.
High schools that are predominantly black do need more because those are high schools that have historically been underfunded. So they do not have as much as high schools that are from predominantly white areas. So yeah, we
Not
should
my state.
fix the historic underfunding of predominantly black high schools. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. But I'm going to go ahead and say in my state, Booker T. Washington for one in Tulsa. A lot of state championships, a lot of great athletes. It's a charter school. I mean, but it's predominantly black, and it's
So first of all, I just looked up the student diversity at Booker T. Washington High School in Tulsa. The predominant the predominant racial group is white. 32% white, 27% black, 22% Hispanic, 5% American Indian, 3% Asian.
perfect
So
melting pot. Then that should be the perfect example,
it's not
right?
about a melting pot. I feel like you just haven't been listening to anything that I said.
I'm your professor, I will test you in the worst way. Don't bring a scantron, it's pop quizzes all day. Cause of our chemistry, we do biology. What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement, still moving. Subscribe or die trying. You see the thumbnail, more importantly, you saw the clip. This is about like race and education. And sometimes it's just sheer stupidity, and sometimes it's just plain dumb because of racism. So when I see stuff like this, you know, I I understand that people do not want equity and fairness in America. I get that. That's never wanted, never been wanted. People don't want to compete on an equal playing field. I get that. That's what it is. Now people want to lie and say this, that, and the third, like, oh, this and that, and this and that. And when you have conversations, people prove it all the time. And this is what interests me about this. You will get people who are white or even Asian or Hispanic, predominantly white and Asian is what I've seen though. Say, kids in black communities, they can't read. The fathers are not in the home, blah, blah, blah. They are good in school. And then when you start talking about the history of America, these same people are retarded. I didn't know that didn't happen. That's not in America that I know. That wait a minute. So you didn't read? You didn't study. You didn't know what went on in the America, land of the free, home of the brave. You don't know anything that happened. Same thing when they had that little CRT argument. Oh, I don't. Why should we teach that? Why should you not teach history in America? What the fu- the fu- what are you talking about? And the reason why I bring this up is because you know you see adults having these political conversations and supposed to have these intellectual conversations, and somebody could bring out a fact that's dealing with race or just a persistent pattern, you know and these intelligent people, these logical people, they just go dumb. And it's like people are using simple logic, but I've said before, when race comes into play, people just get retarded. So when a person says, "Hey, man, oh, we should underfund the white schools that have been," well, wait a minute, the white schools been overfunded, and the black schools have been underfunded. So you just no, we can't do that. We can't do that. It's like, oh, okay, why not? And isn't because we have a school around here that's won a lot of state championships. I hate to break the news to y'all, and this is sometimes it's not just racism. Well, it is, but it goes to show the mentality. I would love black people at my school because we'll win a state championship in football, basketball, maybe track, you know, and we can get a new stadium and sell some tickets and wear merchandise, and then the school could get richer. Yeah, but it's a school, dickhead. What about the education part? The blacks can't read. The same blacks that you got on the football team and basketball team and running track and selling tickets. Because I know the stereotype of the dumb jock. I get it, and it comes from a real place, right? But people don't. What people don't want to say, the majority of athletes are intelligent. You know, the majority of them got into college, you know, based on their grades. Just that's just a fact. But when you have these conversations about balance in America, people just can't fathom balance in America because at the same time, you know, imbalance is their norm, and the fear of balance is an issue. But when you're talking to people and they're looking at these conversations, you're like, oh, okay. You having an unfair advantage is normal, but me having equity is a handout. So ultimately, you're used to getting catered to. You have an entitlement, and messing with your entitlement is an issue. Now, let me say this: funding the schools properly might not do anything. You're right, because a lot of these white schools or suburban schools, predominantly white suburban schools, they don't really produce any greatness, you know, academically or athletically. You know what I'm saying? Or artistically. Like you don't hear a lot of great stories of people who came from these places. Just it's weird, but but to have all of those resources, you should have far more people who are successful. And that becomes the question of why we investing in these schools and overfunding them and giving them all this extra stuff, and there's really not a return on the investment. Not even for society, even for themselves, you know. So that's a bigger issue. And I will say this: per capita, since we're going, per capita, one for one, there's probably more success at black schools in life. You get what I'm saying? More successful stories, more successful people in you know, academically and athletically, who came from these from predominantly black schools because of their ability to deal with adversity. But hey, this is a norm for me to watch, but it's always stupid. But I'm gonna leave it at that. You tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe, or die trying. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace. You ever been at the top of the universe? I'm gonna tell you that.